Flip the switch, light the fire, ideas spinning higher, higher. Testing, melting shapes take form. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome this wonderful Sunday night. We had a false start, but oh my goodness, that is crazy. It sucks when you just go live, you hit the live button on your software, and then all of a sudden your browser crashes. So what happened was I had to end the first stream and reschedule another stream, blah, blah, blah. Anyways. Which is really weird because I don't have a lot of resources here. But anyways, are a lot of resources open taking up space. Anyways, let's go see who is here. Anyway, sorry guys, I appreciate y'all following me over to this new location. So it looks like we have a lot of people here already. 3D Medic Vince is here. Guy the Jedi, Andrew Humphrey, the Class Clown is back. Jerry, 3D HP, always here. Good to see you, Jerry. Guy the Jedi is here. Third time's a charm. Well, yeah, it seemed to work out. Jose Ferrero is here. Thank you for being here, Jose. Yes, it is late for you, as somebody mentioned. Another GC is here. Another CG is here. Zybertech is here. Guy the Jedi. Another, we're SPC 3D. Tuxedo is here. And let's see, who else is here? Bill D. Techno Bill is here. Ladybug. Hello, Ladybug. If I miss you, forgive me. Betty Boop. Hello, Betty Boop. You're here. And I think I've got everybody that's spoken up in chat. I had camera issues for the first 12 minutes. No, it was browser issues. Big Bad Joe is here. Stephen Labat is here. David Walton is here. New and improved stream or do-over? It's a brand new intro. Birdman Any Weather is here. Hey there, Birdman Any Weather. Do I know? Have I seen you here before? If you're new, thank you. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already. And Zybertech is here. 3D and Laser, I wish you were not so far from me. I got an X99 Xeon set up that would be a great PC for me. Oh, Wouldn't that be nice? Hey, Mark is here. Mark Flanagan is here. Hello, hello. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Yeah, we did a little new intro tune because we rebranded a little bit to DWIT 3D and laser so that we could include the laser aspect of the things we've been doing. Steve Alpha, I skipped you. Sorry, Steve Alpha. I'm wrong. I missed you. I'm just scrolling through all the names and there, oh yeah, there you are. Hi. Yeah, I'm sorry. Don't take it personally if I miss you. Don't take it personally. So we will do a bit more laser burning tonight. I'm giving, oh, excuse me. Oh, you might notice a little bit of a different look here. We brought in another workbench here. I didn't like the way I had it set up. I brought another workbench. I took away the lower shelf of filament. Brought in this workbench, emptied everything else from here over to another spot over here, just so I could have a cleaner setup here and I could have my 3D printers handy. A nice solid surface for the chiller. We have our Mon port behind us here, and then we of course have our S1, XTool S1 right over here with a 40-watt head on it. So it's just a little cleaner look. I just feel it's more, gives me a little more space, and I'm happy with it. And I did all this this afternoon. So I worked hard to get all this stuff here. So yeah. What else are we saying here? What are we burning today? We're going to burn some wood. I'm only human. I'm only human, born to make mistakes. Okay, it's not a singing contest. Did I figure why the laser cutting on an angle? I didn't. I realigned my mirrors. I checked my mirror alignment. I checked everything. I have a perfect beam coming straight out the laser head. I checked the level of the bed underneath. I cannot for the life of me figure that out. So yeah, those huskies are so nice. Oh, you're seeing my husky up and behind there. Yeah, I think that's what you're looking at. I think that's what you're looking at. Hey, Cosbricks, hello, hello. I just want to make sure I see everybody else that's popping in here. Looks great. Thank you so much, Cybertech. Appreciate that. It feels better in here. Feels much better in here. Installed a board near I installed a board near the bottom as a shelf. Yes, it is a lot of work. Got glass of water. Oh, my glass of water. Yeah, and I've got an empty space under there. I'm going to put some shelving or something in there so that I can store my wood, my laser blanks and stuff in there. That's right now they're all over the place, so I need a place to store my wood. So, but I do need to get a glass of water. So if you guys hang on for a second. Just hang on for a real quick second. I'm going to get a glass of water. Hang on, it's just right over there. There we go. Got my water. Hope you like that little you know, while you wait type thing. So, hey, what the heck? No entry link. Oh, didn't I? Oh, you know why? You know why? Because it was on the other stream when I had to reboot the stream. This really weird part is that the only one edge is slanted. That's what makes, I know. I'm going to reach out to Monport and see what's going on. Hey, Kilroy. Kilroy, did that work out for you? I emailed you this week. And I didn't hear back. I'm assuming that worked out for you. So, yeah. And I will get the link right now for the draw, and I'll pin it at the top of the chat. Thank you for mentioning that because there we are. Do we have to re-enter? No, because the link is going to be to the exact same draw. Like right now, without putting the link up there, I can see right now that there are 12 submissions. So no, you don't have to re-enter. You can try to re-enter if you feel you want to try to re-enter, but it will give you the error that you've already entered once. So let's go ahead and pin this to the top of the chat. And there we go. The link to enter to win some Polymaker should be pinned at the top of the chat. And let's just make sure it is pinned. Did it pin to the top of the chat? Pin message. There we go. It's pinned. It's at the top of the chat right now. There we go. Let me double check live. I have not even looked at my email this week. Okay, so what you're going to get, Kuro, you're going to get actually your code that you go into the website and at checkout you enter that code. Now, 35 US dollars, 30 US dollars or 35? Jerry would know that. I think it's 30 or 35 US, 45 Canadian dollars. That was information was fed to me. Yeah, that means you've entered already, so you're fine. It doesn't, regardless of the stream, the draw has nothing to do with the actual stream. It's a separate software, so you're all fine. Okay, so Jerry just said so. Yeah, so with the Polymaker, what you actually win is you win a $35 US credit towards anything on their site, or $45 Canadian credit towards anything on their site. So us Canadians get more because we are worth less. I didn't mean worthless, but our dollar is worth less. Well, which is kind of worthless, but yeah. So yeah, that was confirmed to me. 45 Canadian, 35 US when you enter the draw. So there you go. So you guys saw my little, and which one of you guys, who gave me this? Who gave me that? I don't remember, but it's priceless. I love it. It's an illusion anyway, money. Yeah, money is an illusion, isn't it? Yeah, our money is worth less, not us. The people, we're valuable people, but our dollar is terrible. Saves the info. Yeah, my draw, it saves the info. I don't save my info every week. What I do save, just in full disclosure, after the draw is done and the winner is selected and the winner is confirmed, when I email the winner, I delete everything else except I keep the winner's information on my in my historical, or I archive it. So the winner for each week is archived just in case. And then after about 3-4 months, I will go in and delete all those archives. So I only keep the winner's information, and it is in a secure account that I have with the software I'm using to do the draws. So yeah, it's relative. Our dollar is doing better than the Australian dollar. True. Your browser uses autofill. Okay, cool. Okay, so I've been working on a really cool project. I've started it because it's a long project. There's a lot to do on it. I really wanted to do the marble run that Jerry did. And when I went to look for the marble run, I found something else that I thought was super cool. We'll burn a sheet of it tonight. Maybe we'll try some acrylic on the Mon port here a little later. But I'm just going to show you what I'm working on right now. Let me move the stool out of the way so I can stand up. That's also, I got a nice place to park my stool over there too. So, let's see. Let me switch over to the monitor. Let me get this open here and show you guys what I'm working on. It is here, right here. So first of all, it's a site called freelaserfiles.com. And if you go to freelaserfiles.com, they do have a Patreon, excuse me, which is extremely reasonable. And on their Patreon, they have some really, really cool models on their Patreon, which I believe are only accessible on their Patreon. But anyways, one of the models that I really liked, was this one. I'm going to show you what it does. I'll play the video. Watch this. I'll go full screen for you. This is cool. This just kind of makes my mind go all wiggly woggly. Watch when this gets going. And it's all done by counterweight. There's no electric motor or anything, and it's just all counterweight. And I've got to figure all that out yet, but that's just wild. I love what that does. This is cool. Try and stare at that and make sense of what's happening. It's the coolest thing. You saw that, Jerry? Yeah, this is cool. It's big. It's a big model too. There's a lot of stuff in behind it, but look, it's mesmerizing, and I think it's so cool. So if we move on, they show this a little bit, and then of course they have videos for all their major models of how to actually, we won't go through the whole thing because it's over an hour long, but they have complete videos on how to assemble all the parts for all their models. And it's very detailed. They do a very good job at it, and yeah. And right to the very front, from the very start to the very finish, There you go, starting it up. So anyways, that is the model that I'm working on right now. So far I've got not a lot, but I guess I've done. There is a lot of sheets of wood to burn, so I've got a lot of pieces already made for it. Ever tell you I love the smell of burning wood? Super glue is faster. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, yeah. Super glue's probably, yeah. And I have a glue that's quick. I have a few different glues. Anyways, there's parts galore. Big parts, small parts. There are 12. So basically, I'm using the wood. I'm using is 3 mil basswood, and this stuff is where'd I put my tape measure? After I did all my stuff, I had a tape measure right here. I've misplaced my tape measure, my regular one. But anyways, I'll tell you metric. I had my inch tape measure here, but I'm using wood that is, come on. The sheets of wood I'm using, did I drop a little piece? Oh, I might have, but that's okay. I'll burn it again if it's a little piece. I've been dropping pieces this whole thing. That's okay. But it's 500 millimeters, or 50 centimeters. 500 by 300 are the pieces of wood I'm using, and it uses 12 pieces of wood like this to cut all the pieces out, which is really cool. So, and I think I have just enough to do this one project for it. So let's see what everybody else is saying. Brent Ferguson did you just get here, Brent? I think you did. You're supposed to email me. I think it was you that was supposed to email Brent. Whoever won the keychain, the free keychain, email me at DWIT3D@gmail.com and let me know the information you want on it. Wife does too smelling the wood. Yeah, the wood is nice. Maria doesn't like the smell of the burning wood. So let's see. Are small projects worth a sheet? And Cosbrick says, I'm making you want a laser. Hey, there are links down in my description which help me. So you can use the link to go check out the lasers, either Monport, XTool. I have links, both links to both in my description. If you're looking, just click the links and look and see what you think. I'm happy with the S1 laser. So far, I'm doing okay with the Monport, the CO2 40 watt. It's got a few issues, as we know, with the crooked cutting, but I'm going to see if I can figure out why that is. It could be because it's a lower level entry machine, and it's just the way it's going to be. So who knows? Who knows? Canadian guy using an imperial tape measure made in China to measure millimeters. Hey, Clown Hammer. You thought you were going to email me about the keychain. I'll go ahead and send it today. Just send me the email. I wasn't sure, and I thought it's not a mad panic rush, but just send it to me what you would like it to say. Okay. That said, there's a couple things I want to try after I burn this one piece, but I'm distracted because the tape measure I'm missing is big, and I can't for the life of me figure out where I put it, and I'm going to need it eventually, but that's here nor there. Okay, so we're going to go into my XTool Creative Space software, where I have imported the next board that I'm going to print, which is right here. Okay, so this is not a lesson on Creative Space, on XTool Creative Space, but this is basically showing you what I'm going to be burning and we're going to be cutting. So anything red is going to be engraved, anything black is going to be cut. So I'm going to click my red layer. I'm going to set it to engrave, and I happen to know, and I've got 3 mil basswood picked, and I happen to know that I go a little bit further. So what I've done is I've created my own reference here saying KJP basswood engrave, 1/8 inch engrave. So that's going to set my parameters for that. I'm going to go to my black layer, which is my cut. And again, my reference is going to be, oops, I'm going to click my black layer, tell it I want to cut it. There we go. Now under my reference, I have my KGP 1/8 inch basswood cut, which is going to set my cutting parameters. They recommend on here, they recommend up here cutting, but I find with this wood, it's got a little bit extra glue, so I slow it down. I lower my percentage, and I slow it down to 9 from 15 millimeters per second, just because I know that is going to cut through all the glue that's in this wood. Okay, I'm going to try and keep up on chat as well. Just need money to show up in my wallet to spend on laser. If I could see some of my prints on Marketplace. Oh, there, if you could sell some of your prints on Marketplace, yeah, of course, that makes sense. There we go. Yeah, this, you don't smell the burning wood in my vent system edible here, so yeah. You have a TS55 and your videos are inspiring you to put it to work again. Oh, good, Will De Silva. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. So the other thing I do here, which I didn't do for the first few sheets, is I'm going to select all this. I'm going to ungroup it. And basically this red text you're seeing is just the copyright information. I don't need to burn that in there. And this one basically is just saying, so this one is telling us to, that's offering this file for sale is an infringement of copyright, which most people don't give a crap about, but I do. And then it talks about assembly instructions and where you can find the video for the assembly instructions. So I just delete these ones. There's no sense wasting the laser, burning those, because I don't need to see those. But the rest of them are all the numbers for the parts, so I do keep those. So let's go ahead and go over to my to this camera over here. I'm going to measure my wood, in other words, my autofocus. So we're just going to, oops, I guess I got to hook up, I got to connect the laser first. I didn't connect the laser. I got to connect my laser because I just powered it on earlier. So that should connect here in a second. There we go. Now, if I go over here, this will automatically measure my wood, and it'll give me the autofocus, basically. That's very bright. Let's see if I can tone that down a little bit. Oh, I don't want to unfocus it. I want to tone it down a bit with this one. Oh, that's the, okay, hang on. What's going on here? First time using this camera? No. There we go. Okay, so now that it's autofocused, I think that's, yeah, that's kind of in focus. Now I'm going to frame. I'm going to frame it. Some elements, oh, fallen outside. Oh, okay, I see what it's saying. Basically, there's a couple things just up top that are just a little bit out of range. Actually, so see that little red crosshair there? Oh, sorry. That little red crosshair there means that I need to move my laser to where I want it to start. So as I move my laser head, you're going to see that crosshair move. I'm going to go right up to the top of my wood. Then I'm going to make sure that none of these pieces are extending beyond that white boundary into the gray area. So I'm just going to lower these things a little bit. There we go, just like that. Now when I hit my framing button, I should be okay. There we go. Okay, so we'll switch back over to here. We'll frame it. Make sure I'm hitting all my wood. Oh, I'm going to move my wood over a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to move the wood over just that little bit, and then we're ready to go. So, okay, now, what do I not want to forget to do? I don't want to forget to turn my vent on. So 1 to power of 10. 10. So it's going to get a little loud, but my mic does a good job of, Richard McLean's here. Hey, hey. My mic does a little bit of job, good job of blah, whatever you call it, noise cancellation. So I want to make sure my proper duct is open, which it is. I've got the flapper for my XTool open. I got the flapper for my CO2 closed. We are ready to engrave. So if I switch back to this, cut. Here, let me move that over just a hair. Oh, and we're going to, first it'll do the engrave, then it'll do the cut. How do I like the monoprint laser? The monoprint laser. The Monport laser. Oh, the Monport laser. We'll talk about that. Let me get this started. So it's saying here framing completed. So I'm going to process the job. This will tell me how long it's going to take to do. And it's going to tell me in the bottom left corner here. And it's 24 minutes and 41 seconds. I will say start. It's warning me that I'm using high power with low speed and to always never leave the room because it is a possibility of fire. Always mind your flapper and your ducts before messing with your wood. Good one. I'll say OK process. Gives me the beep. We'll go back here. I'll hit the start button. and we're going to go. So 24 minutes to score, or sorry, to engrave and cut this massive piece of wood is not bad. Oh, Big Bad Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Little help for laser supplies. Thank you so much, Big Bad Joe. I don't have my thing set up yet, but I will say super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And while we're here, let's just remember here, guys. Go ahead, enter to win. Be sure to enter the Polymaker giveaway draw. Okay, the link is pinned at the top of the chat. So if you're here and you haven't entered yet, go ahead and enter to win. We'll be doing that draw in about another hour. Okay, there you go. Okay, hide. I said hide. There we go. So let's go back. Let's come back to where we were. So we'll let that burn for a bit, and when it starts cutting, I'll switch the camera again and show you guys the cutting action of it. The question was asked, where's the chat here? The question was asked, how do I like my Monport laser? I like it pretty good. It's a decent laser for entry level so far. I'm happy with it. It did arrive initially with a broken tube. It took a while to get the new tube in, but Monport service has been excellent. They sent me the new tube. We put the new tube in. I had a couple questions. They responded very well over, I'm communicating with them over WhatsApp and email, and they've responded very well. I'm happy with the way this is operating and cutting. We're just having a slight issue with the laser cutting at a little angle on one edge of the acrylic or the wood. Actually, it's on two edges, but it's a major angle cut on one edge. I say major, but it may be 6-7 degrees or something like that. I don't know if this camera will show this so easily, but you can kind of see, if I get this in the right light, you can see that there. You can see the angle right there that it's cutting on that one edge. But yet, on this edge, it's good. On this edge, it's good. And on this edge, it's off by a slight bit. But if we're off on one edge on one axis, you would think that it would cut, the angle would be the same across the whole thing. I've tried every position on the bed, and I'm getting that same angle cut. So I am going to communicate with them next week about that and see what the possibility could be. I realigned the mirrors, realigned everything. My laser head, as far as I know, is parallel, which it has to be, because if it was off parallel, it would cut that same angle across every media that I put in there. So it's a mystery. It is a mystery. Let's see what else is happening here. Did you check the focus height on the entire bed? Yes. Soup, he wants. And hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button for sure. 5 to 6 degrees is actually a lot. Of course it's a lot. It's a fair amount, right? So if you're cutting in a piece of acrylic to fit in specific signs, or if you're doing, what's the word when you're layering them and you're putting the, you know, and it has to fit in a specific area, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big problem. So where's my water? I went and got it right here. So Polymaker US order. Thank you for your purchase. Awesome, Kilroy. Good. Congratulations. I'm glad that worked for you. And let me take this moment while we're here just to thank my channel partners and sponsors and the people that I have affiliations with. So just let me take a moment to play this. This stream is brought to you in conjunction with
Polymaker, you're the filament king, building dreams with every string. Monport laser, cutting so clean. XTool sparks the maker's dream. Thank you, you're the best, turning ideas into success. Polymaker, Monport, XTool too. This jingle's just for you.
There we go. Thank you to to Polymaker. Thank you to Monport. Thank you to XTool, who is a, I have affiliate links with all of these people. So thank you so much. Is the head loose? Could it tilt one direction or the other? AI? I am an AI. I'm AI. I'm not really. I'm not Tim. I'm an AI character. And oh, you're asking about the little jingle I did. I sang that If I try really hard, I can get my voice up that high. Yeah, that was me. Terry made a plane with her laser. Oh, cool. 3D and T printing. Hello, hello. She made a plane with her laser. Cool. That's awesome. It's I or AI. I. No, the head on this thing is, well, I could bring the other camera over, but the head on this thing is, no, it's not. It's not loose at all. There is, the only thing that you can adjust on the head on this CO2 laser is they have screws where you can move the whole head up or down. This has an autofocus or a manual focus type thing where you actually loosen a collar and you move your head up and down depending on the depth, and you set it to the depth of your focus. But there's nothing in there to actually, there's nothing in there that allows you to tilt the head either way. And I don't think that's the issue, because if that were the issue, the cuts on opposite sides, in other words, the, is that called the parallel side of the piece, they would have the exact same angle. And we're not having that issue. Is the cut related to the direction of travel? It is. The angle of the cut is always on my Y. That angle is the Y. The X is cutting fine. The Y is where I'm getting that little bit of an angle. So we'll fire this up in a minute and we'll try some cutting. I have a couple other little things here that I had laying around from my days in sublimation. And I no longer have the sublimation ability, so I'm going to see if I can't engrave these things with my IR laser. We got some bookmarks, and we have some name tag plates that are, I believe these are aluminum, and I just want to see how well these things engrave with the IR laser head on this once we're finished with the burning of the wood here. Are we cutting yet? Oh, we are cutting. I've sort of said we're cutting, and I said I'd skip to this when we're cutting, so let's have a look at this. So we are cutting the pieces out now. Is that focused? And you'll see it's cutting so nice. And what I'm doing is I'm using the little tabs that came with it to hold the wood down, but instead of holding the wood down, I've actually put the wood on top of those little tabs. And it's about 1/8 of an inch. It's raising the wood off the honeycomb bed. And what this is doing for me, number one, it's letting the piece fall when it cuts. But number two, and most importantly, I'm not getting any flashback on the honeycomb side of the piece. So both sides of the piece are cutting extremely clean. Put 2/4 under the table legs. There we go. But is it Y left or right? It's the right side. It's on the right side of the Y. But as I say, both sides would be slanted if it was a matter of the head being crooked. So let's see what I can do here. Can I zoom this in a bit further? Let's see. Or am I zoomed in? Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys don't mind that being out of focus, do you? There we go. That gives a pretty decent view of this cutting. And it cuts nice and clean, and it's relatively decent speed for a one-pass cut. Now some woods, and as I say, I'm going a little slower on this wood because I was having issues with this wood with the glue being an issue. So I definitely slowed it down. I can go a fair bit faster on some of the other woods, especially the wood I get from Bamboo Lab and from True Flat Woods or something, whatever that was called. Kryptonite green, yes. That means I can look through that. I can put my face right down on that and look at it, and it's not going to hurt my eyes. But I don't do that anyways. When moving left to right, it tilts. When moving right to left, it straightens. Left to right, it tilts. Right to left. All I know is on the y-axis, it's cutting on an angle on the right side and not on the left side. Not as much on the left side. The cutting head is going left to right on one side of the cut and right to left on the other. Yes, that's true. That is true. My rail or gantry is not aligned, and there are YouTube videos for this. Okay, my rail or gantry are not aligned. That's possible too. Belt movement, putting a bit of torque in one direction to travel the other. I gotta actually, what I really gotta do is take the covers off and see. I got to take the covers off and maybe have a look at the whole motion system. We are running on, let's see, where are the belts? The belts, I actually haven't checked belt tensions on this. Here, I'm gonna I'll switch off this because all you're watching right now is this thing cutting. And it's mesmerizing to watch these things cut, especially when they fall through like that. It's pretty cool. But hey, let's cut to me. But yeah, I haven't bothered. Actually, I haven't even thought to reach the belts. This belt is harder to reach because it's so close in. But actually, come to think of it, let's just see here. Actually, the right belt. It's hard to get my fingers down in here, but from up here. Oh, there we go. Oh, I might not get my fingers out of here now. Hey, questionable choices. Okay. Okay. Oh, ooh. Now if I check up here, that right belt might be a little bit looser. And that's the Y belt. And I think the right belt feels a little bit looser than the left belt. Now to tension these belts, we do have belt tensioning screws here. So I never even thought to check the belts. So it's possible. Let's see. How do I tension the belts? Well, you tension the belts like you would on a 3D printer, except you need a bigger Allen wrench than that. I'm sorry, hex key. Some people get insulted when you call it an Allen wrench. So that's when we pull out the whereas Tuxedo has the right idea. Yeah. So one looser belt might be the problem. We don't know. So let's see, is this yellow? What's this? 4 millimeter? Oh, it's still too small. My goodness, that's a big bolt. It's going to be the orange then, which is 4.5 or 5 millimeter. Okay, so that's the right one. Let me just see if I can tension this belt a little bit. That's not the belt tensioner. Oh, that is not. Well, what the heck are these ones for? I figured these were belt tensioning bolts because they're easy accessible. But these bolts are, these bolts are holding on the rods that the bearings ride on for the Y-axis. But where the heck would the belt tensioning screws be? Hopefully not in the very back. I think they are. I think to tension the belt, I've got to get into the back here behind it, which is underneath where the tube is. Ooh, that is a tough spot to get into. But I feel a locking bolt, and then I feel another screw. So I think I'd have to loosen that locking bolt and tighten that screw to tension the belts. But man, to get at it, yeah, that's definitely what that is. Why would they give me access here to loosen the rods and the Y-axis? Okay, let me just have a look and see what chat's saying. Fasten a piece of straight stock to the cutting head and jog it in all directions with the camera looking at it sideways. Did you level the bed? I did. Americans say Allen key. Do they? Yeah, well, who's Allen and why is he so special? Here, let's bring the camera over here. Oh, damn, my power cord's not that long. Okay, let's see if I can move the camera in a bit here. Actually, I can, let's see. If I bring this back over here, yeah, let's do this. Well, I want the camera here for this other laser as well. But we can kind of see in here now. So the gantry, nothing is really loose here. We're on linear rails. Okay, the X is on linear rails. Okay, and that is snug. Okay, Y is on bearings. Y is on the rods with the bearings. But there's nothing there's no play at all in this gantry. Like there's no wiggle in the gantry at all, and there's no wiggle or wobble in the X. So everything is moving smooth as it should here. Now it's possible, so X we're not having a problem, it's the Y we're having the problem with. But I can't see how, I can see having other certain issues, but with it cutting on an angle, I'm kind of mystified. Hey, Barton Fink. Fasten a piece of straight stock to the cutting head and jog in all directions. So I think I see what you mean. So you're saying attach a piece of stock to the head, jog it in all directions, use the camera to see if it actually, the camera's not going to see a lot in there, but I could have a look in there. Is that camera still, is that camera still active? Let's just see. Why is that camera not active? Hang on one sec. Let me get this camera a shake up here. Why are we not seeing that camera? It's working. Stay with me for a second. Oh, maybe it's this one. No, that's not the one. But it's this one. Okay, hang on one sec. I got to get this camera. I think I just have to reset that camera in OBS. So if I do this one, and if I go there and I deactivate and activate, whoa, why is that camera not coming on? This one? That should come on because I can see it on my screen, but it's not coming on there. So bear with me 1 second. So it's got to have something to do with the software here. So now if I go ahead and let's see, it's showing up here. Okay, bear with me. I know it's a black screen, and that's not good in the world of broadcasting. But if I then go like this, now if I deactivate and activate that camera, there we are, now it's showing up, okay. So I think what you're saying is to put a piece of wood on and see, but how is that going to show me? See, but that seems, I could even do something like, if I were to take this out and put something very straight in there, let's just say like straight edge that I know is a straight edge. So if I put this straight edge in there, say, there we are, okay, so if I put this in here, and if I kind of line that straight edge up and ride that along there, okay, now let's just back this up, whoop, this way, right there. And back on this one, we'll go here. See, that's coming straight across. There we go. So we don't have any wobble. I'm looking for wobble. And I don't see any wobble at all on the X. Now this is the X, and there's no wobbling happening there. If your rails are all tight, I'm wondering if it's a mirror deflection from an out of flat mirror. Take off the lens cap, Mark says. Time for input shaper, yeah, no kidding. And then you won't necessarily see it if I turn it this way, but if I turn it this way, and I basically watch with my own eyes from here, and I'm just going to line that straight edge up. There we go. And same idea when I'm coming along the Y. Move that just a hair. There we are. Now, there is no wobbly, no deviation or wobbling happening at all there. Now, it's funny you should say about the mirrors, and let me, I'm hoping somebody out there has CO2 lasers. If you have a CO2 laser, oh, I just stepped in a hole in the ground. If you have a CO2 laser, raise your hand. Because there is one question I have. Hey, GTR Dad. We're still cutting on that other piece. Man, it's cutting a lot of pieces of wood. Not me, hand. Another CG has a laser, and Kilroy has a CO2 laser. Okay, I have a question. You can't judge head tilt because caused by belts with the motors disengaged. Moving it by hand isn't going to replicate the problem. True. This might be part of the problem, and I for the life of me cannot figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this to those of you that have CO2 lasers. It's collecting dust, he says. I'm going to try to explain this to you. Okay, I have all my mirrors from the tube are aligned perfectly. Okay, I'm coming in and I'm hitting the middle of the mirror here, which is what they suggest. So you align these first two mirrors, okay, so that we're getting a consistent burn, whether it's this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay, we were lined up here. This was lined up off center. Now, the only way to get this to line up in the center to hit this mirror in the middle is to adjust the tube, which I did. So we adjusted the tube so we had a dot lining up in the center of this of this mirror here in the center, okay, at every position. And I tested at every position. Now, the next thing to do was then obviously to line up your beam coming down out of your head, okay? In order to get this mirror in alignment enough to get the beam to come down the center of my head, and it is actually, I'll show you where it's hitting. What the heck, I got a bit of time here. I'll show you where it's hitting. I'm going to power this on. I'm going to put a piece of masking tape on the head. Oops, I just defocused my head, but that's okay. Doesn't have to be in focus to do what I'm doing here. I just pushed it too tight is all I did, okay? I'm going to give it a little bit of a fire. I'm going to turn my power down. I'm going to fire it on a bit. Okay. Hang on a sec. Didn't have my tape quite on there. There we go. Well, what the heck is going on there? There's something wonky going on here. Because okay, this is interesting. This hasn't happened before. Let me pop this laser off now. This is interesting. Let's switch to this camera. If you look at, okay, this, I'm going to actually use my pen to draw the circle because it's really hard to see. Give me 1 second. This is really hard to see. Your head is often out of focus. And I just noticed this other thing happening. So, it's sort of, you'll get the idea. You can see where I circled. The laser, it's actually coming out down the tube, no problem. But see that little mark to the bottom of it? I have no idea where that's coming from. That wasn't happening before. There's a mark firing outside of that that shouldn't be. That circle represents the tip of my laser head. Oh, this is hard to focus on here. Anyways, two dots next to each other, that coming out of the laser head. One of them is like it's coming out beside the actual laser head. Here, let me go back to this one. Let me try that. That is weird. That is really strange. I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to do a brand new, fresh, clean piece of tape. That wasn't happening when I was testing this out earlier in the week. I don't know how that's possible unless there's something leaking from somewhere, which is really stupid. So I'm going to actually try and show you this. That's still cutting over there, so we'll power that on. Okay, our tape is there. So I've got the tape covering the nozzle, okay? So I'm going to hopefully see, let's see what happens now. I'm going to fire it up. And yeah, that is weird. You can see the nozzle indent. You can see, let me lower the brightness of this camera a little bit. There we go. You can see the nozzle indent where I indented the nozzle. You can see where it's firing through the nozzle. Why is that other one coming out the side? Where is that coming from? Hey, Maker Viking, how are you doing, sir? Reflecting off the plate underneath. Ah, I wonder, possibly. Oh, I see what you mean. It's bouncing from the plate underneath up. Ah, maybe, because there's a metal plate there. Let's take this plate off. That's a good point. Let's try it again without the plate. Never thought of that. Okay, we'll try it again here. I'm turning my head, by the way, just so you know. Ah, that's exactly what it was. It was bouncing off that plate, because here it is now. Here's the one I did right. Oops, you can see the separate one I did right there. There it is, and it's in the middle of the hole. Okay, so it was bouncing off the plate. But anyways, okay, my point to this whole thing is, and here I'll show you that this is hitting the middle by kind of, well, my pen drawing capability is terrible. That's not perfectly where it is, but believe me, it's hitting the middle of the laser nozzle, okay? Do the mirrors flex different ways when moving in different directions? The mirrors don't flex. They're solid mirrors. So what's happening, and my point to this whole thing is, let me power this off. My point to this whole thing is, it's hitting this in the middle. It's hitting in the middle here. I've adjusted these mirrors so it's hitting, so it's coming out of the nozzle. Okay, I lined it up in the middle, adjusted the mirror so it's coming out of the nozzle. But when I adjusted those mirrors, I'm going to show you. I'm going to take. No, hang on. First of all, I'm going to do two things. The wood is finished cutting on the other one, but it's good. It's just letting the smoke all vent out. I'm going to actually put a piece of tape on here. We're going to fire it up and see what this one does. These CO2 lasers, they're finicky, but when you get them tuned, man, they're good. So I'm going to fire this one. Whoops, that fired a little strong, but I fired, the power is way too high on it. But you can see that it is firing. I don't know if you can see the indent there, but it is firing in the middle. It's hard to see the indent that I did there, but it is indeed firing in the middle. If I kind of outline that with a pen, there's one side, one side, one side, and one side. You can kind of see right there. It is firing in the middle to that mirror. Okay? Need a Columbinator. You've seen the mirrors move in the horror movies. Grab the tool head and try to rock it back and forth. Is there any movement? No. This entire, well, there's what the movement you're seeing here. Hang on a sec. The movement you're seeing here is this whole thing flexing. This whole mount is flexing. The tool head itself, if I push hard enough, it is moving a little bit this way because this whole plate is flexing. Left to right, or in other words, along the y-axis, there's no movement at all. What I was going to show you though, I'm going to power that off again because I don't necessarily want that laser to fire by mistake. If I take the actual lens off, okay, let me just take this. So this here, that's the actual lens that we focus with. Okay, and then this is the retaining ring. If I take this off, that is the retaining ring for the lens. where you focus your lens based on your depth and then you tighten your retaining ring. Okay? If I now put a piece of tape, and all I'm going to get here is I'm going to get a laser burn without a focused thing. But watch what happens here. This is what really mystifies me. So you would think if the laser is firing down the middle of the lens, no problem, and the lens itself is in here, and yes, I do have the lens in the correct way, concave or convex up, okay, on the lens. I've double checked that. Oh, I do have some crud on my lens. What? I gotta clean my lens, but anyways, that's the moot point. Now, if I go ahead and fire now, the laser to see what it does there, you would think if it's firing down the middle of the lens, it's firing down the middle of this whole tube, right? Well, watch what happens. Okay. Watch what happens. I'm going to draw the circle around here. This is where it's firing down that tube. It's not coming down the dead middle, but it is coming down the middle of the lens. Now, the other question is, could it be reflecting off the side and then coming out the tip of the lens? But I cannot, if I move my mirrors to bring this into the middle, it doesn't fire out the lens at all. Okay? So that, it's really, it's got me mystified. So, yeah. So we come out the middle of the lens, but you take the lens off, that's where it's firing. It's obviously a non-focused beam. Okay, so it's obviously coming out. It's coming out and it's probably bouncing and then out, but if I try to get it out anyways, it's very odd. It's exactly, Tuxedo, it's really odd. So that's what I gotta either work on a bit more, it's gonna take a little bit more patience, and work on it a little bit more, or figure out what's going on. But I want to see what's going on with this lens. There's like a little bit of, there's some junk on my lens. Now, if I take this right out, I can take the lens out. What is on there? It's like a little piece of shaving or something on that lens. You see, what's happening is, so if you look at the lens, so you see where it was positioned coming out of that tube. I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but okay, there, see where the lens, see where there's a little bit of scuffing? What the heck is going on here? Stop. Stop. There we go. See on the lens where it's got that little bit of a haze? That's almost in line where it's coming down, and then it's basically focusing. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So obviously the beam is hitting this lens off center. And then whatever, maybe it's a bad lens because you can see right through the lens. You can see right through down where my skin is right there. It's bouncing off where it's hitting the lens and it's coming out the center of the lens. Now, yeah, maybe that is causing that crooked cut. Because I would think that little scuff marker beam where that laser is hitting this lens should be in the middle. So, yeah. The lens must be tilted. Well, the lens is in there straight. Here, I'll pop the lens out. You can pop the lens out. Here's the lens. I don't see any burning inside here. I'll look with a light. Here's the lens. Okay, so you can see that all the action's happening onto the side of the lens, right? So I don't have a spare lens. I'm going to put this on a cloth. I'm going to put this on a cloth. I don't have a spare lens to try, and I'm wondering if it's a bad lens, if it's a defective lens. I know I have it the right way. You can see when you hold in a certain light, you can see the convex or the flat side versus the concave, or sorry, the convex side versus the flat side. should be able to compensate. Well, there is a ring. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. There is a ring. This little guy here. This little ring here goes, you put the lens in, then you put this ring in, and you screw down onto the top of this little ring to protect the lens from being cracked by the threads, basically, is what happens. Maybe the lasers bounce off the side of that part. That's what I was thinking too. So one way to find that out is to grab my handy dandy little flashlight here, look inside, and okay, now I don't know if you'll see this. No, you probably won't be. It's hard to see on camera, this stuff. But there is, oops. Hang on. There is a little bit of soot on the top of this, on the top surface here inside. And I wonder if the laser's bouncing off of that, but you'd think it would mark it even more. Anyways, I don't want to dwell on this too much. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is an issue I think I have to really have a close look at. Let's just see if this little silt that I'm seeing will actually wipe off. Yeah, and it's not even burn or anything. It's just a little bit of silt, which I'm sure is, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I have to work on that as a separate item, you know, to get this thing going. I'm going to communicate with the company, see if they've had this issue before, and I'm sure there's an easy fix for this. That beam should be hitting the lens dead center. Exactly, exactly. But when I try to get the beam to hit the lens dead center, I don't get anything coming out of the tip of the nozzle. So I don't know, maybe it's a bad lens. I know you can get these lenses, I just have to measure the size. I can get these lenses on Amazon. They're not expensive. Where's my Q-tip? And then that little bit of soot that's on there wipes off real easy. These lenses are easy to clean with alcohol. And yeah, that is the right side because I can see my whole face on this side and I can only see my eyeball on this side. So when you can see your whole face, that's the convex portion of it, which is the part that's supposed to be up. I shouldn't have to pay for it, no, but I don't want to wait 6 weeks for them to ship me another one, right? So anyways, let's go back over here. It's called beating a dead horse, I guess, what I've just been doing here. We're going to open this up. And let's go cut. Here's our finished pieces. Right there. Hang on. Focus, focus, focus. Focus is important. There we go. We finished cutting all these pieces out. Very cool. So this thing will just lift out like so. Like that's, oh, we got one stubborn piece here. Hang on. That's an offcut. But we have one piece here, and that's what I mean by this wood, see? You can kind of see here. I'm jumping back and forth here, but what the heck. You can see right there where that didn't cut through. The only thing that didn't cut through is right there. These pieces are falling because these cuts are so close and tight together. So what I end up doing in this case is I'll just grab my knife and I will try and finish that cut line where it was supposed to cut through, because it's all about the glue and the wood, right? But the rest of it cut through nice. That's why I'm not happy with this particular batch of wood. I can cut through with a knife and I can get the piece out, but there's always that little bit of a thing there that I'm hoping doesn't affect the actual operation of the model. But there we go, we got that piece cut out. So this is all scrap right here. We'll just throw this over here. Okay, so now we'll just go gather some pieces up. So there's a lot of these pieces. These are all numbered. These are all number 42. Here. This is a, I don't know if that's a piece or not. Yeah, I think it is, but there's no number. Oh, there is a number on the very bottom, 33. You gotta be careful because even some of the little pieces, you gotta make sure there's no number on it because they're scrap. These pieces are scrap. We have some tooth pieces out here with some gears or something on it. These little two pieces here are scrap. And then we're gonna gather up, these are all number 39s. And I want to show you in a second what I meant by raising this honeycomb bed a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch. And then they're just going to grab these scrap pieces out of here. These can just go off to the side. There we go. So here's all the pieces we just burnt there. Now this is what I want to show you. Normally, if you're laying flat on your honeycomb, things that sound nasty but aren't. I hate it when you're not happy with your wood. Richard McLean. So here's the one, I don't even know which side was up now. But here's the one side of the wood. And for those of you that laser engrave, you'll appreciate this. We got a tiny bit of flashback at the front there. But then when I turn it over to the side that was on the honeycomb, nothing. Maybe a tiny little bit on the end there. But it's super clean, and that's just by raising that honeycomb bed, just that little bit. So there's another batch of pieces for this. This was board number 5 of 12. I mean, and this thing, I think is big. I mean, it has to be for all these little pieces that are going into it. Even this one, there's a little bit of flashback on this, but I mean, they're super clean. I'm gonna need a bigger bin, I think. So. Let me remind folks, while I'm at this juncture in time, I'm going to put this up here. Remember, if you want to enter to win some Polymaker, you're going to get a credit on the Polymaker website, $35 US, $45 Canadian. Go ahead and enter the draw. Ah, there we go. And for those of you that missed it, we're going to play our little sponsor jingle here because I just want to, because I really love my sponsors, and the sponsors are what makes this channel go.
Polymaker, you're the filament king, building dreams with every string. Mom poured laser, cutting so clean. XTool sparks the maker's dream. Thank you, you're the best, turning ideas into success. Polymaker, Mom poured XTool too. This jingle's just for you.
There we go. Kilroy says CO2 laser cutting wood at an angle on one side but not the other is usually caused by a laser beam not being perfectly centered on the lens. This misalignment causes the beam to refract at an angle, resulting in tapered cut. Yeah, no, that I'm starting to figure that's exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, you guys make the channel go. Yes, you do. I'm sorry, but these guys help out. These guys help me do fun stuff, and these guys help me create content and help me do giveaways. I'm sorry. Why the Canucks get more money? Because our dollar sucks. Actually, if you think about it, do the conversion from $35 US to Canadian, we're actually getting a little less. That's what you searched. Why does a CO2 laser cut wood on an angle on one side but not the other? Okay, good. So I need to figure out then why I'm not able to hit the center of that lens. That's what I've got to figure out. Because I'm coming into that last mirror dead center, as y'all saw. Y'all saw. I'm coming into that last mirror dead center, but I am not coming down dead center. That's the hard part. You feel better, Richard? Good, I'm glad. Okay, I'm gonna pop this exhaust fan off so I can hear myself think a little bit here. There is a material I want to try. Now, I can't, and now you guys tell me this. Anybody, Russ is here. He can tell me this. Kilroy can tell me this because I'm sure Kilroy has diode lasers as well. I have this material. This stuff is called Toolaze or Trolaze. Great material. If you want to look at it, it's trolaze.com. Basically what you do is you etch off, I can peel off the top layer of this, and then you etch off the black. So you peel off the top, you've got a black material, you etch off that thin layer of black, which will reveal white type. This is great for making signs. This is how a lot of signs are made. And you etch off the black, you have your white revealed, and then you can then basically laser cut whatever size you want. Apparently I should be able to, but I don't know. I cannot get my diode laser, 40 watt diode laser behind me to cut through this. I've tried it a few different times. I can cut like 12 passes, it'll eventually go through, but it melts the edges more. I cannot get a clean cut. Now, can the diode laser can cut any color acrylic other than transparent or clear acrylic. Should the diode laser be able to cut through that black layer and then through this white? Or can the diode laser not cut white as well? So, if that tube broke, good to say it was a big drop to knock it out of alignment. Yeah, something knocked something out of alignment, but I've aligned all the mirrors. So there's something in that head aligned, misaligned, I guess. To be honest, I have never used it, but need to test some for some ham radio equipment. Knob labels, perfect. The CO2 would do it. Yeah, the CO2 will cut through the white, no problem. But on the site that I bought this from, which is from a local supplier, this is listed under diode laser material. Now, I assumed if it's listed under diode laser material, it's able to cut it as well. But I can't. But and on the other hand, I have this brushed silver, which I can etch away the brushed silver, reveal black text, and it's a black one. And of course, the diode laser cuts through this no problem. So, no problem. And the diode laser cuts through, obviously, I've got the opaque red acrylic, which the diode laser cuts through no problem. Except I just had my settings wrong in a couple of these, but I did test a few things. And any other colored opaque acrylic, it will cut through. So what material is the white part? The white part is like a, I guess it's like a plastic. I don't know if it's an acrylic, a flexible acrylic, or what this is. It's trotechlaser.com. It's a very flexible material, right? Very flexible. The idea is that, I think the white part peels off too, or maybe it doesn't. But the idea is that for making the signs, okay, you take some of this 3M, I have this 3M, this 300 LSE tape, and you put this 3M tape on the back of your sign, okay, and then you laser right through your tape as well, and then you peel your tape and you have your adhesive sign or your adhesive letters or whatever. Now perhaps if I put the tape on it, no, the laser won't go through because it just won't go through the white. You cut white MDF with your diode so you don't think the white is the issue. Okay. Yeah, Richard McLean, it engraves the black fine, but it doesn't cut through the white. Well, I'll just run a quick piece for you and try it. Fortunately, I'm not going to put the whole thing in because I just don't want to peel the black off the whole thing. I'm just going to cut a section of this off. Actually, it's easier if I just score it and cut it. I'm just going to cut a section of this off and we'll try it. Let's just do this. Okay, and then I can just, there, this stuff cuts very easy. Except I should have, there we go. So let's give it a shot, see what we can do, just for fun. So I'm going to peel this off the black. Okay, so there we go. There's actually a sign I have to make, so why don't I just do that, make a quick sign here. I'll put this in the laser. Okay, let me just get that light on there, okay. And let me grab my stool, we'll create a quick sign. We're going to do a draw in about 10-15 minutes, so stick around. If you haven't entered to win the Polymaker draw, in the pinned at the top of the chat, there's a link to enter, and there's also a link in the description of the video. There should be a link in the description of the video. So there we go. We have 59 people watching. We should have close to that many entries. I know some people aren't qualified to enter, which is fine, but most of you should be qualified to enter the draw. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to open XTool Creative Space. Okay, so we finished our latest cut, so we're just going to say okay. I'm going to create a new project. And I am just going to, white so reflective. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick thing here. So the sign I want to do, the actual one that I'd like to do is, how do I want to word this? Pickup shelf. Pickup shelf. Customer and courier. Spell courier right, it helps. KKP, oops. KKP use only. Okay, something like that. I want to do a sign something like that. This will at least give me something to test. Okay, so if I go here and let's see what font. Something a little bolder, something a little heavier. Nothing too fancy. What's Broadway? No. Cooper Black is such a bummer. I'd like something a little narrower. Franklin Gothic heavy. Franklin Gothic's pretty good. And we'll go a little smaller. Okay, and we'll bring ourselves a box. I might not have made the cut that piece big enough, but we'll see. Okay, and then we're going to just select both of those, and we will center them on each other. Align center, there we go. Okay, this one we're going to engrave. Now material, what material did I pick on this one before? I picked, let's see, I think I picked acrylic. I think it was the same engraving, but it wasn't too, I didn't have to go too deep. 3mm black opaque acrylic, I believe is what it is. And acrylic is flammable. Yeah, I know it's flammable. Cool. So we're not going to go, and again, this is just a test, 40% power, 300. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. That might be a bit too, actually, that might be a bit too much. I think I'm going to go ahead and do 30% power. We'll just speed that up to 400. That's going to be fine. I got to write these numbers down once I'm done, but anyways, that's okay. So we're going to go on that. We're going to put that on a new layer. We'll put that on a black layer. We're going to cut that. And so I'm going to cut this at a high. 100%, 7mm a second is what you cut black acrylic at, okay? So I'm going to cut it on as if I'm cutting black acrylic, and we'll just see what happens with that, okay? Okay, so that is that. Now I just want to make sure of my size. So first thing I got to do, we got my camera back over there, we do. Let's cut, let's do our auto measure. So let's bring the head in and we'll get a measurement on this stuff. Let's just move that over there. We'll measure the autofocus. Here we go. Oops. You guys need to see what I'm doing. Just autofocusing. Okay, now we're going to move it to our cut position start. Right up in the corner, like yo. And let me do a frame. See if I made this too big. Okay. Let's see. Oh, didn't make it too big. I just didn't move my artwork. Got to keep remembering with XTool Creative Space. Got to keep remembering. Yeah, you need to actually bring your artwork and just move it up to where the material starts, or where your laser is going to start, which is right up in that corner. Oh, just about had it locked in, right about there. There we go. Now, if I do the framing, we're going to get a little better result. There we go. Yeah, that's more like it. There we go. Okay, so we're good there. We're going to we'll turn our fan on. There we go. Let the fan fire up. Oh, chat just got quiet. Cool. Everybody's just watching with bated breath. Or you're over entering to win the draw, right? Right? Okay. Let's go ahead. Framing completed. So we'll go back to the display. We'll process. And this should take about 11 minutes and 55 seconds. I have a feeling my engrave might be a little too deep, but we'll just see. Okay, so we'll hit start. And go OK process. And we're going to get a beeper here. Beep! And start. See what happens. You should be able to, if I zoom you in a bit there, you should be able to see that text getting engraved. A little bit of reflection there. I can't do much about that. Actually, let's move this closer. There we go. Now you can see it a little bit there. Yeah, it's a little bit deep, but it'll work. Your breath smells like bait. Bated breath. Ha ha ha. How does cut through settings? How does cut through settings? I don't get the question. Does this have the air assist on? It does. I don't know if I need air assist, but we're going to be fine. Actually, it might not be too deep. And I don't know if I need air assist on this or not, but we'll see. I know I can wipe off the excess soot that's on it. There will be a little bit of soot in the letters that should wipe off cleanly. I have a damp cloth. Damp cloth. I'll make it damper. There we go. I'll make it moistly. Worm or chum? Haha. Sounds fishy to me. How do the cut-through settings differ between black and white? I don't know. On acrylic, it shouldn't. It shouldn't make a difference. Well, I don't know. Well, it looks like it's definitely getting the letters going here. I think I think I did okay with the letter settings for the engraving. See if I can wipe off that glass a little bit so it's a little clearer. I wonder if that, let's see if I can wipe that glass off a little. I don't know if that made any difference. Nah, not really. There's a little bit of soot on the inside of it. A little bit of soot on the inside of it. We'll do this, then we'll do the draw. The Trotec materials usually have symbols for what machines the material is for. Does this material have both CO2 and diode symbols on the packaging? I just went, Richard, that's a great question. What I went by was on the website of my local supplier here, which is I forget the brand of the CO2 lasers they sell, but they have a section called diode materials. And this was in the diode materials section. I didn't actually, there was no packaging. I just got these, I was given these sheets just loose like this with no packaging, but I did select them from the diode materials link is where I got them from. This one, and as I say, the brushed silver, this works perfectly because we have a black and it cuts through that super clean, super clean. And again, not a big deal. You can always do it on the CO2 laser, but what I found on the CO2 laser, because the air assist on it is very weak, is that the CO2 laser, when I go to wipe off the soot that gets in the white letters, it doesn't wipe off too well. It kind of stains the letters. So ideally what I need to do if I can't get this to cut on the diode is I need to engrave on the diode, swing it over and cut it on the CO2, but then you're having an alignment issue because you're dealing with two different machines. White up and black down and see what happens. That's interesting to try. Can you flip it over and engrave the white off? No, the black layer is extremely thin. It's a very thin layer. So the idea is that you just strip off that one top thin layer, and then the white is about 1/16 of an inch or a little bit bigger. Clean plastic covers with end dust or some other sprays to remove the cloudy look. Yeah, I use isopropyl. It cleans it right off. Pickup shelf, customer and courier, KKP only, KKP use only. Yeah, we have people coming into our pickup shelf in the office. Couriers are coming in. Instead of running stuff up the elevator, they're leaving stuff on the shelf out front of our office, which is for our customer pickup. So we have to educate them. So we'll finish this off. We'll do the draw, and after the draw, I'm gonna see if I can etch on these aluminum tags that I found that I used to use for dye sublimation. So these do have a plastic coating on them to peel off, so you get a clean front. And the little infrared laser should engrave those things nicely. So we'll try that. We will try that. Yes, we will be getting back into 3D printing stuff eventually. Project in Dad's Garage, hello, hello. Enter the draw. If you're just getting here, go ahead and enter that draw. Hit the like button, and if you're not already, please give me a subscribe. I appreciate that. There we go. Let's see how this is doing. We're coming, one more line, then we'll see if it even cuts through. I stream, I'm going to be done in about another half hour. I go 5 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Sundays. "5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on CBC. Signs everywhere, signs blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the sign? Long-haired freaky people, don't bother applying. Don't bother tucking your hair up under your hat either. Still working on your robotic arm project. It's quite involved. Wondering if you're still interested. I'd be interested to see what it's all about. Is that the one that I keep seeing the ads for? Pop away, hello, hello. Oh, okay, I appreciate that, Project and Dad's Garage. You don't normally stream on Sundays. Okay. I always get music references fast. I try. No, I can cut the black, but I can't. It won't cut through the white. You'll see here when it goes to cut out now. Just about done here, and we're going to cut it out 100% power, 7 millimeters a second, I think what it was, which should cut through this stuff no problem. The settings I've used for cutting is what you use to cut through 1/8 inch black acrylic. So we're going to be getting the cut going here any second. And it just won't get through that white. Watch it make me a liar. Okay, we're just about done. Okay, here we go. Ultimate power. I can tell you already, it's not going to cut through. I would be seeing the smoke coming out if it was. And I can hear it popping. It's almost like it's boiling the white. You can't hear it, but I can hear little snap, snap, pop, pop. Now, what I can do is I can actually run my knife along the edges here and, finish the cut through, or I can break it and snap it off. This kind of scores it for me so I can actually snap it and use it. But man, this stuff should cut through. White needs a slower speed. I can't go much slower than this, 100% power, 7 millimeters a second. I can't go much slower. But let's see what it does. And I'm not going to cut it a second time because it'll just start deforming it if I start cutting it a second time. I mean, I can cut through 1/2 inch wood with this speed and this power. So it's got something to do with the white. Well, there's some smoke coming out of there now. I'm glad I can't smell it because apparently that stuff stinks badly. And there we are. It's possible, yeah. Okay, we're gonna let that settle a bit. Well, in other words, we're gonna let the smoke clear out a little bit before I open this. Although this thing clears out the smoke super fast. Okay, let's go ahead. So you can see right there that we've got some soot or whatever you want to call it, residue on the top. We're going to clean that off. So I'm going to pull this out, and you'll see it just about made it through. I don't know if you can kind of see on the back there. It just about made it through. Maybe if I slowed it down a bit more, but that should have cut through. And you can, here, I'm going to show you on the close-up camera. Let that exhaust a little bit more. We're going to get the close-up camera here, and I'll show you what I mean. It's almost too hot because we almost have some melting, what looks like melting going on. Why is this camera? There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, so let's switch to this guy. So there you go. You can almost see how it's melted. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's softened. It's like melted there. So now I can take this with my clean cloth and I can actually wipe all that soot off, and that actually cleans up that lettering very well. Okay, and then we'll just get a dry cloth here. This does a great job. Yeah, I think I engraved a bit too deep on the white because it's not, or maybe not even deep enough, because I can just feel a bit. I could have gone a little bit deeper, a little bit more. I should have left it the way they suggested it, but this is fine. You can still see white letters, okay? And with the back, you can see how it just about Oh man, can you actually see that? You can it just about came through, but I can actually take this off and actually snap it off now. Like so. So it does pop out. So like that, and there we go. So it did pop out, no problem. Pop out of there. But I can still, there's a little bit of white edge that I can see around here. Okay, a little bit of white edge, which I shouldn't be able to see. Oops, am I zoomed way out or in? Oh, hang on, sorry. I did a dumb thing earlier today. I dropped my camera and the lens hit the ground. But there we go. You can sign it, and that's okay. I can use this. You can still see a little bit of white around the edges. The deliveries go to XXX? No. No. If the couriers are too dumb to realize that they got to go to the floor, anything that's delivered to us can be shipped here, but it's just KKB use only. People were using our shelf. Couriers using our shelf to just leave stuff instead of running it upstairs to the actual suite number that's on their delivery. And then on the back, so now on the back of this, I can actually put, so that's my offcuts there. I'm going to actually keep a little piece of this to maybe experiment with a little bit, just to maybe do some little tests on this little piece. So now on the back, if I clean that up nicely, I can take my 3M tape. Oh, I was going to do the draw. I got to do the draw in a second here. So I can take this 3M tape. We'll cut off the length I need. Okay. No, I didn't. And then I don't have a squeegee here. I'll just pretend I have a squeegee here. I kind of missed, that's fine. Let's just take this tape off. There we go. This should get this off my bench. Oh man, that's sticky. That stuff is really sticky. Okay, and then let me grab a scrap. Just grab a scrap piece here. Then I can just take a sharp blade. And we'll just cut that off. Okay, like so, and like so. Like so. Oh, this stuff is super sticky, which is what you want. Like so. Ah, can't get it off my thumb. And a little bit there, and then there. We have a ready to go, ready to apply sign. Just peel off the tape on the back, apply it to your surface. Bob's your uncle, if you have an Uncle Bob. Let me minimize this. There we go. Let's see. You want soup. Did I get a super chat? No. Okay, good. I'm just reading. What does black look like? It's cutting through refusing because it's so hard. It's too hot. No, the black looks good. It's I think it's just the color and the color of the wavelength of the laser. You kind of like the white on the edge. It's not bad. It's usable. It's sellable. Can you test a cutoff piece to see what the material is? I'm thinking the white may be ABS. Oh, it's possible. They say not to engrave ABS or burn ABS, but hey. Put some acetone on a cutoff and see. How can you, what, I don't have any, do I have acetone here? I might. What does acetone do to ABS? Opens the van window and threw the parcel on the ground, then backed up and drove away. Stupid. Oh, that's funny. Big Bad J, you're making me hungry. Andrew Humphrey. Oh, you want soup? Thank you so much, Andrew. Super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Potato soup. Oh, potato soup would be good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. 20 minutes later, the snow removal guy was there doing a driveway with his plow. Ah, you'll melt it. Oh, that's funny. Fingernail remover. Acetone. Do I have, no, what I have is, oh, hang on. Do you mean this stuff? Like acetone? Acetone melts ABS. Okay. So if I take a little bit of this acetone, which I use, I have this acetone because I clean the black slates. The slate coasters, I clean it with acetone before I print them. So if I take another scrap, well, I've got a scrap piece of wood. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that scrap I just broke off right here. Okay, so you're saying if I take this, and if I put a little bit of acetone on my rag, acetone has an interesting smell to it, by the way. A little bit of acetone and then wipe the ABS, or this. No, it just cleans it. Actually cleans it quite nicely, actually. Does it do anything to the black? Ooh, I wonder if it would clip this white cleaner. Let's just see if it would get, it's not melting it at all. It cleans it. So it's not ABS. But let's see. Will this clean my letters a little whiter? Oh, wow. Holy crap. It's like, ah! Oh, wow. Oh, hang on. I've got to, a little bit more here. Holy crap. Oh, I need a cleaner rag. Oh, come on. Hang on. Holy crap. You got to be careful with it and everything, but man, that, and then we'll just clean it all off with my wet rag. I don't know, it's hard to tell, but man, that made the letters whiter. That's just water that I've got on the black there. Let me dry that off. I need a clean dry rag. Let me get a clean dry rag. I moved a whole bunch of stuff around, and I moved all my rags around. There's a clean dry rag. But so no, it's obviously not ABS because it didn't melt them. But boy, did it ever clean that white lettering up. There we go. Did it ever clean that white lettering up? That's cool. Ah, I see, okay. It's attacking the black layer. Yeah, it might have been. I think it did do a little bit of the black. That's why I cleaned it up so well, but it looks good. I mean, let's see. If I hit the black again. Yeah, it is attacking the black layer a little bit. It leaves a little bit of a streak. I mean, I'm still going to use that sign, but yeah. But boy, it cleaned it up nice. Okay, well we're going to keep that and use it. Let me put the lid back on this. I can really smell it. Okay, let's do the draw. We're going to do a draw. Everybody's had plenty of time to enter. We're going to do a draw. Got rags all over the place here. It's nasty. Yeah, we're going to do the giveaway right now. Let me turn this exhaust off so I can hear myself think. And we're at 6:50. We're almost at the end of the stream, but I want to throw that 2-watt laser on and just try those little things with you guys here. So bear with me. We're going to close the draw. And we're going to do the draw in a second here. So let's see. I'm going to go more. You've had plenty of time. We are going to disable the draw. And we are going to, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go more. I want to go inbox. There we go. Store those dirty rags in the metal bin with a lid. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can smell it already. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the table. Oh, let me get my chair. Ah, those with back issues know what it's like to stand for a long time. Okay, let's download the spreadsheet. Looks like we have, oh gosh, 52 entries today. Nice. 52 entries. That's awesome. Okay, minimize that. Let's get our spreadsheet. Downloads. August 3rd draw. Doot, doot. YouTube names. Let's grab all the names. And copy. Let's go to the wheel of names. Let's go to the wheel. I'm wheel excited about this. Okay, that's just so bad. Okay. Oh man, I can still smell that acetone. Oh, let's put this acetone rag way out of the way for now. Ooh, because that's what I'm smelling. And we'll put these ones too. These little dirty ones here. Dirty, dirty rags. Okay. 42. Unfold the rags and leave them flat till they're thoroughly dry. Yeah, I could do that too. 42. What are you guys doing? You're getting way ahead of yourself. Way ahead of yourself. Look at that. Here go all the names. Ready, and boom. There's everybody's name. I'm going to shuffle. We're going to play this game. I am going to shuffle. Acetone rag. Maybe that's why I cracked the joke. I'm going to shuffle until somebody tells me, no, David Walton, stop it. I'm going to shuffle until somebody tells me, let's see, how many watts is my CO2 laser? It does smell a bit like chloroform. How many watts is my CO2 laser? Come on, somebody knows. My finger's getting sore. Oh, everybody, 40, you got it. So we're going to spin. Good luck to the winner. The winner is going to be... Oh, so close to one. And is it going to click over? It looks like it's Tulsa Skin. Tulsa Skin. Tulsa Skin, are you in chat? Tulsa Skin, are you in chat? Tulsa Skin, congratulations. You have to say something in chat. Tulsa Skin is in chat. Awesome. He says, thank you. You are welcome, Tulsa Skin. I will be reaching out to you tomorrow, Tulsa Skin. I will send you an email which will have a link and a code to claim your, if you're in the US, your $35 Polymaker gift card. If you're in Canada, you get a $45 Polymaker gift card. So congratulations to Tulsa Skin. Awesome. Glad you won. Good job. Good job. Congratulations to all my previous winners too. So anybody want to see me throw that 2-watt infrared laser on and try and laser some of these things? I'll just do a real quick one if you'd like. It won't take long. Won't take long. Clean my hands before I open the XTool cover. They don't smell. Actually, I could... yeah, I'll just go give them a quick rinse underwater. That's probably not a bad idea. I'll be right back. Hang on 1 second. Got to draw for the keychain. I got to draw for a keychain. Did I say I would do that every week? Or did I'm going to be right back. There we go. You thought I said every day of the week. Every day of the week. I was going to decide. Your fingers don't smell, noses do a DWIT 3. Let's get back. Right now I can't do diddly with the CO2 laser, so I cannot cut an acrylic, a clear acrylic keychain, but we're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. I'm going to come up with a plan. If I do one every day of the week, I would go broke with postage for shipping. Get it? Yeah, I was going to decide. We were going to think about that, and I haven't thought about it a lot. I did think about changing the studio a little bit, but let's go ahead and switch the laser heads on this thing. It's a quick process. Did that, why is, oh, okay, I zoomed into that, that's why. I want to zoom out. There we go. He decided no. You're just running like that interlude. Rubber rejuvenators, acetone. Ah, okay. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead. I'm going to cut to this guy right here. That is way out of focus. I wish this was an autofocus camera, this one, but that's okay. So we're going to bring this right over to here. Okay, this is a pretty quick change out, so all I need is my Insta-Duty wrench, not that one. It's probably the blue one that I don't know where it is because I was using it. Where did I put that blue one? It came with one, I know, but I think, here, I'll just use this. I'll just do this one. I think it's pink. I think it's Mr. Pink. Here we go. I think it's this one. Oh, and of course I'm wrong. Okay, here we go. So all I gotta do in this case is undo these two screws here on the top of the head. 1, 2, really quick like that. Okay, we'll unplug, take that off. We'll take the data cable off, data and power cable. Come on. There we go, and take the air assist off. That's the 40-watt head off. Yeah, I know, you wanted me to turn the power off when I did that, didn't you? And I didn't. Then we'll take the 2-watt infrared. We'll put the air assist back on. And we'll put in the power and data cable. We'll seat it in its given slot, like so. Like that. We'll put the 2 screws back in. Come on. 1 and 2. If you're chatting at me, I can't see you. My back is to you. Am I not lined up properly here or what? We're lined up properly. Why? I think I was trying to put, oh, there we go. I was trying to put it in. I don't want to cross thread it, of course. There we go. Put this one in. And this one, like so. Okay, and then the other thing I did forget to take off the other one is we have to use this, which is the little, this little guy is the focusing tool. So this just holds in by magnet right in the side, just like so. So we're all ready to go with the 2-watt. I do super chat from US payout and adjusted in Canadian dollar 1 to 1. Super chat, it adjusts. but YouTube does take a fair bit of it as well. Okay, so we have that in, and it looks like, based on taking this one out, that my other laser head needs a good cleaning. If you look at this, it's about time to do a cleaning on this. As you can see, there's a little bit of buildup happening right under in here, and I haven't seen it, but these are very, very easy to clean. Maybe we'll do that next time. So I'm going to take a little piece of this. I'm just going to engrave just a word on one of these little aluminum plates that I have with the infrared laser. What is this? What? There, that's where I wanted to go. So we'll just place this in here. Let's turn the power on. Oh, the power was on. There we go. I thought I turned the power off. Maybe I didn't. Oh well, whatever. And we'll come over here. We're gonna place our little red X there. We're gonna go into XTool Creative Space. Okay. And then it's giving me a warning, which is normal. It's telling me that the processing module of this device does not match the parameter settings of the project file. Do you want to change them? So basically it's telling me that I put a different head on. So I say yes. Now you can see up top it recognizes that I put the 2-watt laser head on. Okay, so we'll just maybe engrave this same thing, but obviously it's going to be a bit smaller. So first thing I'm going to do is focus it. We'll focus the laser. Whoops. Okay, it's going to go reset itself after it focuses. I don't have a Zelly account actually. Okie doke. And now that we're focused, I'm going to do a thing what's called, it's mark the processing area. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say it's a rectangle. I'm going to start marking. And what I do is I go into here, I move my red X, make sure that my piece is square to my beam. I move my red X to the top left corner. I hit my button, mark that. I move my red X to the bottom right corner, hit my button, and I have now marked my processing area. So when I come in, I say end marking, and that basically done is going to tell me there is where that's my piece. It's the exact location of my piece. So if I go ahead and shrink this down, and if I go ahead and put it in here, let's just zoom in a bit on this, and we'll shrink this down a little more, and I'll sort of just put it right about. So we're pretty close to center. Now I'm going to tell the material I'm using is aluminum. So let's find my aluminum. Let's just do a search for aluminum. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say it's black even though it's silver. I don't have any silver aluminum. Let's see, recommended 27. Do I have any silver aluminum in here? I don't have any blank silver aluminum. So I'm just going to go to I'll do a rose gold since it is a light color. I'll confirm and see what this kind of is going to tell me to do for speed and power. So it is suggesting for speed and power, there we go, it is suggesting 50% power at 140 millimeters a second speed. Who am I to argue? Let's try it. So if I frame, if I frame, there we go. It should frame exactly on where the text is going to go. And it looks like it's pretty much perfect right there. So we will turn the fan on about half power because aluminum engraving is not going to actually give much of a fume. And then we're going to go framing completed. And I'm going to go process. And we're going to, it says it's going to take 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Let's start, and then we will hit the go button. And it is engraving. It is, I'm seeing something, so we can all see when we're done. This is my finale for the night. Dun, da, 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 my grand finale. Oh, we've already lost a whole bunch of viewers, but that's okay. We still have 38 people waiting to see what this looks like. 38. It's better than 18, better than 28. How are we looking here? Ah, not the best. Not the best. This is just raw aluminum. It's not the best, but we'll let it finish and show you. Okay, Andrew Humphrey, thank you so much for being here. Have a great night. Give your furball lots of licks. They all left when they did not win. That's basically the way it works, isn't it? That is the way it works. Yeah, that's terrible, this. I'm actually going to stop it. It is terrible. Oh, let's cancel it. Yeah. Because it's like awful. So let's go ahead. Yeah. Oh, it's almost like, is there like, no, I took the layer off. I took the plastic off, but there's almost like there's a, or is there another layer? No, there's not another layer of plastic on this. But why does this thing keep blanking out on me? There we go. But you can kind of see it engraved, but there's like a dust or something coming off of it. There we go. You can see there's like a dust or something coming off of it like that, right? It's not the cleanest by any chance, unless it's, of course, if I just wipe all that off. Oh, I guess once I wipe all that crud off, it's not bad. It actually kind of works if I wipe. I don't know what all that crud is, though. It's almost like there's another layer or another coating on it. Probably because it's meant for dye sublimation, so maybe there's a different coating on it that's for dye sublimation. Matto, you've been lurking and listening the whole time. Lasers are really cool. They are. So there's that. That would work, I guess. It looked terrible in there, but I didn't realize that I just had to wipe off. Let's just see if I wipe that whole thing. Yeah, if I wipe off whatever that layer of crud is, it actually turned out pretty good. So not bad. That I can live with. So the other thing I'm going to try real quick is I have this white bookmark. It's a bookmark. It's raw aluminum on the back and it's white on the front. Now, of course, the white on the front, does this peel off? Is there a coating on this? No, there's not. Now that is a dye sublimation surface again. Let's see what happens if I go ahead and try and engrave this. This will be my last try. So come on in. We'll do the same one we just did, but I got to reset the head. I think I can just reset that head by going OK. Let's focus this. Let's do the focus area on it. Okay. Okay, and we're going to mark the corners again on this sucker. So again, we're just going to come in here. I'm going to tell it to mark the processing area. It's a rectangle. Start marking. And then we go back, move it to the top left, mark it. We'll move it to the bottom right about there, and mark it. Okay. Then, of course, when we come back into our software, we end marking, done. It'll have moved the position of it, of course. So I'll just move that up. This is just for a quick test. I'm not worried about center or anything, and we're going to use the same processing speed and power. And it's going to take 2 minutes and 26 seconds, of course, and we're going to hit start. And we'll close the lid See what happens. Oh, please close the lid. I know. Okay, confirm. Now I can start. Oh, you want me to process again? I didn't close the lid fast enough. There we go. Now we're going to go. Try mustard a few seconds. Try mustard. I don't... engraving mustard? Oh, this one looks nice. This one looks like it might actually work. I'm just thinking if I could give life to these old... I got a stack of these bookmarks that from my old... I got a stack of these from when I used to do dye sublimation. I thought maybe I could just use these, engrave them, and give them away or something like that. So, figure why not. Bring back the acetone. Did you miss the giveaway? You might have, Penguin Makers. You did. We did do the giveaway. I'm so sorry. But if your name was in it, you didn't win. But the winner of the giveaway was actually Tulsa Skin won the giveaway. Okay, so this is. Oh, you don't have a good angle on the camera on this one here, do you? If I come up a little like this, you can actually see that it's actually engraving nicely through that white layer. Let me grab, while that's engraving, I'm just going to grab a rag so I can wipe it off when it's done. Wipe all the silt off, and then we'll see how it looks. Silver on silver, wipe the knurling with mustard. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And this one's almost done. Very little fumes coming off of that, so half fan speed, that's why. It's nice and quiet too. And it looks like we got about another 8 seconds left. There we go. Okay. That actually looks really good. Let's bring it over to this camera. Oh, it's almost, oh, weird. Okay, I want to see if you can see this. This is weird, and I don't know if I want to touch it. Almost looks like, it's almost like it's three-dimensional. Look at that. Like, you see how it's almost raised the lettering? Like, if you look, it's almost raised the lettering. You can kind of see that right there. Let's see if it's, ooh, it's very, oh no, it's not, that is interesting. It's like it boiled the lettering. It's like it boiled it and raised it, and it's got a permanent raised, it's got a raised feel to it. That is interesting. That is really interesting. You guys can see that, right? See what I mean? It's giving it a 3D effect, and it's nice looking. Actually, it's like a gray. That is very cool. Huh. That is cool. It looks good. And I can't, can I scratch it off? I can't scratch it off. That is different. That is interesting. That's the intended effect. Oh, really? Wow. I mean, these were made for dye sublimation, but hey, that's interesting. I wonder if other dye sublimation material would do that. Am I sure there's not a plastic coating that comes off of this? No. Wow. That is really cool. Anyways, I didn't expect that. Honestly, I didn't expect that. So it's like it boiled the coating, but the letters are extremely sharp. It's not patented, it's quick. Huh. Yeah, I'll just show you, I'll show you that once more. You can just see how it did that. That is cool. Well, unfortunately, I only have about 25 of these things, but hey, I could have fun with that. That is so cool. Old knife maker's trick. Oh, interesting. Anyways, that's it. Let me turn the fan off on this. Oh, I totally forgot to show everybody on stream I had some things to show everybody, but I got too involved in this. But next week I'll show you. I'll give you a little teaser right now of what it is, but next week I'll show you some. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, everybody. I appreciate y'all. I just said y'all. I appreciate everybody for being here. We will see you guys next week. We'll have some more fun. We'll do something again as usual. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but hey, we'll always have fun. And I appreciate you joining DWIT 3D. I appreciate the super chats. Thank you so much for everybody that did that. And finally, a full-size printer. Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not in the studio. I can't get it here. So you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will be reaching out with the winner tomorrow, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.